At this time, would you please help me welcome Leo Petropoulos, our student speaker for this evening.
Good evening. Welcome Superintendent Dr. Coleman, Principals Dr. Qualls, Mrs. Bourne, and Mrs. Lowell, esteemed faculty and staff, proud family and friends, and my fellow graduates. Congrats, graduates. We've completed our state-mandated education. I, Leo Petropoulos, would like to offer some brief words to commemorate our resilience and our accomplishments. As my dad would put it, the ability to manage ambiguity is one key to success. I would argue that our class has handled an unprecedented amount of ambiguity. Anything and everything from the coronavirus pandemic, remote learning, and separation from family and friends. Yet amongst our distance, we rejoiced around a game called Among Us, a welcomed oxymoron. For those unaware, Among Us was an internet sensation where 10 players completed virtual tasks as imposters tried to sabotage their efforts. One way teachers like Mr. Rosenbaum engaged their classes was by relating the game to real-world situations and creating dialogue through it. As the pandemic sees out its final days, I'd like to remind us all that staying socially close with others is vital. In 4 years, our class will reach another milestone. Many of us will go off to college, work, military service, pursue other paths, or end up living in our parents' basements. Either way, I can say without a shadow of a doubt that life will once again change. But what will remain is our memories. We will remember friends. We will remember jokes. We will remember the years 2020 and 2021. In those years, background noise from other family members, dogs, and doorbells filled Zoom calls. It became an acquired skill to turn off your mic the second a dog eyed up a squirrel in the yard. Writing about Zoom calls made me remember that my doctor always used to tell me to spend 2 hours or less a day on technology. However, during the fall, we couldn't even complete 2 Zoom classes in 2 hours, let alone an entire school day. So much for the well-intended advice, Doc. Throughout the Zooms at home, I can say confidently that there were more phones being used than there were cameras on for class. It's no wonder we're not allowed to use those phones at school. Oh, and remember the day Schoology would crash? The panic on a Monday morning to get into class? I wouldn't know, but another member of my household might have had attendance troubles. I'm not going to say who, but you do know who you are, and you might be sitting by my parents tonight. I used to hear my dad scream across the house, "How is it possible for you to be late to class if you don't even have to leave your room?" We all likely have similar stories to tell, and I find it to be important to remember them. When our children and grandchildren are asking questions about these past years and the global pandemic which encapsulated them, I hope that we will be able to articulate the memories to them. There was plenty of good, which I feel can't be ignored. We got to spend more time with our families and found new ways to communicate and spend time with our friends. As we remember our 2020-21 school year, we are also reminded of the events that we lost. The 8th grade dance, another 24-hour run. Did we even get one of those? In-class time with friends and teachers, sports seasons, 2 musicals, and so much more. We're going to depart CJH for new adventures and challenges. Let's all be reminded of the hours we wasted on TikTok and an incredibly vast assortment of other memories, ranging from embarrassment to fun to irrelevant facts, such as the fact that there is no McDonald's restaurant in Montpelier, Vermont, the only state capital without one. I suggest that you plan your vacations accordingly. That's a big deal. On a less greasy note, we owe immense gratitude to the genuine teachers, aides, and administrators who have worked their very best for our benefit. They are relentless and adaptive, two traits we should also embody. I personally would like to call out and thank my teachers, Mrs. Peltonen, Mrs. Zarek, Mrs. Sinatine, Mr. Lewick, and of course, the aforementioned Mr. Rosenbaum. We all owe gratitude to our teachers, but I feel putting mine front and center is necessary. Thank you to our parents and families who provided and cared for us, who throughout a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic never failed to look up and kept moving forward. I, a Wisconsin native, wanted to quote a Wisconsin YouTube legend who helped people across the country laugh their way throughout the pandemic. The host of the Manitowoc Minute, Charlie Behrens, ends his videos with the hopeful message, keep her moving. So, to the graduates of Cary Junior High and the class of 2025, from the bottom of my Wisconsin love and heart, I say to you all, keep her moving. Thank you.
Well, that's going to be hard to follow.